All right, looks like we are officially live. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone is doing amazing today. We welcome, waiting for our esteemed guest. Look, my brother just came in the room. Let me see if I can accept this request. Let me be great all the time. So hopefully this works. Let me see. There we go. My leader.
What's up, leader?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Everything is great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for just doing this. I know your time is very, very busy. You know what I'm saying? So I really just appreciate you just taking time to talk to your boy for a few minutes.
Appreciate you having me, Icon. What's up, chat? Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Monday if you're watching this live. Honored to talk to you. Always Mr. Funnel Doctor Extraordinaire. We go way back,
Yeah.
way back.
So way back. We definitely gonna talk about that. I got a few questions for you. Stuff I may already know, stuff, I may not even know. So everybody coming in here, what's going on? See some folks coming in. Do me a favor, y'all, of course, share this out. Drop in someone's DM, put some comments down, put some emojis. We definitely about to lock in, for a second. We ain't got too much time because his brother is very, very busy. Second. So I know it's probably folks coming in on your page, folks on my page, but if someone's behind under a rock or don't know who the hell you are, which would be completely crazy, why don't you just introduce yourself with the people and who you are?
Yeah, so I am Andre C. Hatchett, 39, almost 40-year-old entrepreneur. Mostly known for my mobile notary business, mobile notary early veteran and pioneer in the industry, 16 years plus in the game now. Taught over 20,000 people how to get in the game as well, and helped many people leave the full-time workforce by utilizing strategies that we've created to create a mobile notary business. Three-time self-published author, hardcore Black and proud person, supporter and patron and lover of Black business. And here to, if I had to sum up my life's mission, is to help in some small way to push our race forward. So besides some more of the fancy stuff, the real estate, all that stuff is great. But I thoroughly believe that I'm on earth to play my part and to push the race forward. That's who
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Definitely. 100%. And before we get into the other stuff, what we doing for your birthday, man? You ain't got to
I'm gonna
tell me
let you
right
know.
now.
Yeah, I'm working on it now. I'll let you know.
I know. I was with Corey. We was in Miami like a couple weeks ago. We just happened to be in Miami at the same time. So I was with him.
Hold
He's
on,
like,
hold on,
yes.
hold on. Rich people stuff. We just happened to be my ever. Okay, keep going.
But we just had literally, like, I was in Miami. Somebody reached out. We was in Miami kicking it. And then I seen it on his story. So I'm here in Miami. I'm like, bro, you're in Miami. So I texted him. He's like, yeah, let's meet up. So it was like not even playing. So I definitely got a chance to see him. But he's like, we doing the big for Drake birthday. He trying to figure out what he trying to do. I'm like, you already know I'm there. Just let me know when.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tell my man Tiger Toledo in the building. My man Tiger Toledo, great dude.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to everybody in the building. So I want to go way, way, way back, even before you were an entrepreneur. And I probably know some of the story, but not all of it. But like, did you always want to be an entrepreneur? Like, did you just fall into it? I know a lot of us kind of like fall into it, and because of either they don't like our job or we
Yeah,
just want to be our boss or like whatever. Like, what was like the roots of like your entrepreneurship?
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Always. When I was a kid, I was shoveling snow with me and my brother and my childhood friends, selling candy at school. I always wanted to because jobs have limits. They limit you. They limit how much you can make. They limit when you can use the bathroom sometimes and all kinds of rules, which I'm not job shaming. I'm just saying my personal experience. You do whatever works for you. So for me, it was always when can I leave the full-time workforce? It was never a matter of if, it was when is it going to be. I thought it would be through real estate, but it turned out to be through my mobile notary business. Shout out to my boy Ricky Samuel taught me the business. So yeah, it was just a matter of when. So now, with that being said, I don't believe in Black men being broke. So I've always had jobs. So when I was 14, I got my working papers. I worked as a cabana boy. I worked as a dishwasher. I worked at Harmon's Discount World. It's like a CVS. It's like a CVS kind of store. I did internships at hospitals, and the only career air quotes I ever had, I worked at department stores. I ever had was The only career I ever had was working with special needs children and coaching youth basketball from 19 till about 27 or so. But yes, I am a hardcore entrepreneur. Always knew I wanted to be. So for me, it was just a matter of time before I left the full-time workforce. And thank God I haven't had a job since leaving it when I was 27, so about 13 years. Wow, that's a long time.
Right, that's a minute. That's
Huh.
good, and congratulations to you. Like that ain't easy, because I know it's a lot of people that step out, but they got to go back, or
I've done
you know
that
what I mean,
too.
they step out, and then it's like, you
Yeah.
know, out the window, we're like, oh, you get inspired, but like trying to be a real legitimate entrepreneur and have like real revenue coming in consistently is like a lot of work, especially for those of us that have the job mindset, the 9 to 5 mindset. It is a complete shift of mindset when you have to be an entrepreneur and you have to make your own money consistently. You may
Yeah.
be able to get and make some dollars or have a little product or service and have some small wins, but to like consistently make money and be able to pay your bills and feed your family or whatever your situation is a lot. So we definitely commend you for that. So if someone's watching, or it may be someone watching that's like, I'm on the fence. I'm at my job. I hate it, or I want to leave. Like what would you say to those people? Like what encouragement would you have, and like what tips or just whatever? Because I know there's probably tons of people in that space.
Yeah. So if you want to leave the 9 to 5 world, figure out the minimum you need to make a month to live, a week and a month to live, not the maximum, the
Right.
minimum. So for me, uh, I I was at peace with knowing that I'll make less money at first, and there might be like downtimes. I was okay with eating that because for me, the being outside the job was more important. Oftentimes people go wrong because they try to figure out the maximum they want to make. Oh, well, I'm making 4 grand a month
Right.
at the job, but it's been an entrepreneur. I need to make 10 grand a month starting out. Do you? Do you need to make 10 grand a month starting as an entrepreneur? Now that's great, and I want you to make that and more, but the minimum. So I was fine with going out less. I was fine. I don't know if I find it. I had an older car. It was driving. It got to my notary jobs. I was fine with that. Here's something else I would do. Here's something else that I did that was smart, Ryan. I bought property before I left the full-time workforce. So if buying property is in your 1 to 2 year horizon, it's easier to get a mortgage with W-2 income. So buy the property before you leave. That's the big component, and I did that. I was very glad I did that. But figure out the minimum amount you need and be okay with the cutbacks. For me, it was okay. I was okay with it. And I had ups and I had downs, but for me, the freedom was worth it. So yes, that's what I would work on first. I work on those two things first: secure the property if you want to own the property, and figure out the minimum you need to make a month to eat.
I loved it. I hope y'all caught that nugget that he just said. But especially the one about the property, because that's
That's a
honestly
big
like
deal.
what I'm experiencing right now. And like you said, it's a lot harder, when you don't have the W-2 income or you self-employed or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm coming these because that's one of my main goals this year. Is to, at least acquire one property, if not multiple. But it's like sure, I don't have. I just got put on payroll for my company. We just switched elections to an S corp actually. So
Nice.
this year, I'm actually on payroll and everything like that. I've done draws and it's still my company, so I can take money out whenever I want. But
Mm-hmm.
as of a lender and stuff like that, like I can be like, all right, we just made 40,000 last month, and I got money or whatever. I can take it out whenever I want. But lenders on this, you know what I'm
It's a
saying?
different ball game.
So that is extremely helpful nugget. I hope y'all caught that. And also, like he said, what do you have to make minimum? Like
Minimum.
that's how I left my job. I was like, what do I got to do so I'm not homeless? Me,
Yeah.
I did not do it the smartest way. I just left my job. It was not smart. I tapped into my 401k. I cashed all my investments. I've had cars repossessed. Like it was like
Yeah.
crazy,
All
stuff
that.
through. I wouldn't change it for the world, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, doing it strategically. And I think I met you like literally right when I started my business, right when I left
Yeah.
my job. That's like when I first met you, and you've been an extreme asset for me. Just help everything business wise,
Same
personal
here.
wise. We cities and hung out a
Yeah.
lot. Actual land, I'm gonna definitely hit you up. But you dropped some amazing nuggets. I hope y'all caught that. Let me check the chat real quick.
What up, chat?
Shout out Roosevelt, your ads is on fire, bro. I'm seeing you everywhere. How are you doing it? Cody Scholar, Shanisha, thank you so much for being here. She is part of the Funnel Doctor team, and she is an amazing copywriter and marketer. So shout out to everyone.
You know, I gotta hook you up with man Raphael. He has a podcast called Tweet Talk, and you'll be a great guest for them. I'm gonna connect you up after this call.
Definitely set that up. I would love to be on there. Like, you already know I'm with it. If it got to be.
No, you are.
If I got to pull up in person, you already know I'm down to go.
Appreciate
whatever we got to do. All right. So when you did leave your job and you started your own thing, you know, like, what was that process like? What was that like? Was it hard at first? Did you immediately just start making money? Like, what was that like? You know, eventually we'll talk about, of course, you know, how you got to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. If you ain't at 7 figures already, I'm sure you're very, very close. So what was like the first transition? Like, all right, I left. Great. I am an entrepreneur now, but, you know, what was the transition to, like, all right, actually building a successful business? Because I don't know the exact number. I've seen it a million times, but most small businesses fail within the first 5 years. So how did you survive? And how did you actually?
Great questions. So here's what I did. First thing I did was I started the business while I was at the job. So I was in hustle mode. So after work, I was working. On weekends, I was working. On company time, I was working. They got mad at me. That's one of the reasons why I quit. So yes, I worked the business while I was at the job. If you're trying to what else? Yes, we would be in Florida, Florida basketball, out of Capital A play. Click the link. So I started the business while I was at work. I worked the business in the evenings. I snuck to the bathroom and took phone calls and started to send texts and emails. I was grind mode. And 2, I got into a needed business. That's something else I did, fam. People are gonna tell you about passion a lot. Now, I don't knock anybody who can afford to pursue their passion. Sometimes it might come later. It might not be your first business or your second, but I'm passionate about my lifestyle. So I found out about the mobile notary business from my boy Ricky. I shadowed him. I said $75 for 15 minutes, $150 for 30 minutes, $50 for 50 minutes worth of work, no degree required. And I'll be my own boss, and I make $100 a day at the job, and I can middleman out some jobs. So I was in there. So, and the business is very monotonous. It was a lot of driving around when I was physically doing the jobs myself anymore. It was a lot of routine, but it got me free. Got me free. So that's what I did. I started the business while at the job, and I worked it days and weekends, grind mode. And listen, if you need to make more money, get into a needed business. Meet the need with the need. If you need to make more money, get into a needed business. Meet the need with the need. So that's what I did, Ryan. That's what I did. Oh, yeah. Hold on one second. So, yes, I left the job twice. I left at 25. Business was good. I don't want a job anyway. So I left. Business slowed down. But luckily, I was always a good employee. So I went back to the same job, actually. I got hired back the same day of about a year or under a year, 8 months or so later. And I got hired back the same day at $18.60 an hour. And I stayed there for about another 8 months. And then after that, I left full time. So I had been through the whole leave and have to go back thing. But I'm an adult, got a mortgage. At the time, I was dating a woman, and she had a child. So we were, I was like my child. So
right.
I couldn't be broke. I'm just not one of those guys. So went back to work, but I haven't been back since. So yes, I've lived this entrepreneurship life.
I know that. Y'all don't know. He definitely does. Like, he's speaking all facts, and it's nothing wrong with necessarily going back, or the case may be, and also to say, this is not for folks if you love your job. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
Yeah.
love your job, love what you do, like at the end of the
Hey.
day, that's important. I know people that were entrepreneurs for years and they wanted to go back to work. That's what they wanted to do. It was like, I'm much more happy working another job. When I get off, like I can go home and not have to worry about, I can turn work off and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's all about being happy in your life. Me personally, happy at my job. You know what I'm saying? I hated it. I did not like it. I didn't want to deal with racism and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a boss. I just know I had a deeper purpose in life, but it's not to anything like that. The most important thing is doing what you are happy with. So I love that. And I love what you talk about with product market fit.
Yeah.
Like this is something so many entrepreneurs miss is product market fit. Are you, like you said, a needed business? Like whatever business you have, product or service, whatever the case may be, are people already paying for it? When people, I get ideas all the time. People inbox me, email me, whatever. Like, I got this idea. I want to do. I'm sure you do the same. I want to do this. I got so many ideas and stuff like that. But I always say, like, is somebody already paying for that? Is there already market for that? Is like somebody already killing that niche? Is it somebody you can look at? Like, do they already have your avatar and stuff like that? Because you do not want to go into a business that is not needed in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you said that. Absolutely. So for those that don't know, just talk about like specifically what you actually do, and how folks can, of course, get a hold of that or get one of your courses, other stuff. But some folks may be like, I don't even know what he actually does.
Great question. So I am a licensed notary public, and I took my license and turned it into a business. So I started a mobile notary corporation in 2005. So I was like 20. Like all these years are going by, Riley. I was like 24, 25. Here we are pushing 40. Here I am pushing 40. Shout out to growing. So I started the business, and in a nutshell, people pay me a high premium price to notarize their documents at their house or the location of their choice. We make our money by making clients' lives easier. So a question I often get is, don't banks have notaries? Banks have notaries and all that good stuff. But there's a clientele, there's a market out there that will pay you well to make their clients' lives easier. So we do general notarizations for the public, wills, power of attorneys, affidavits, loan closings, fingerprinting, apostille service, and I've grown it. So now I was self-employed for a long time, probably a little bit too long, but self-employed for a long time. Then I started middlemanning most of the assignments. So if a client would pay me $175, I would have someone else do it for, let's say, $100. And then in 2015, I was in a car accident, so I couldn't really do the jobs anymore. So then I started teaching it. I leveraged our friend Boyce Watkins, shout out Boyce Watkins' platform. He helped me promote it, get the word out there. And since 2015, we started teaching it. One of the proudest things I have is I literally see someone who got the class maybe probably like once a week in real life or online, literally every day, and someone saying that we have helped them either leave the full-time workforce or add another $500 to a couple $1,000 a week as a mobile notary public. And I'm very proud of what we've done, bro. Very proud. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, literally every day on IG or on social is another testimonial story. Does not run out of testimonial stories. If you need a side income or full-time income, or you're just interested in becoming a mobile notary, definitely go to his website, check it out. As a mobile notarybusinessschool.com or notarybusinessschool.com?
MobileNotarySchool.com. Yeah, if this interests you guys, I would start off with our 4-day self-employed boot camp. That's the best way to start. It's only $95 too on promo. It gives you from A to Z on how to become self-employed, get out there. We have 50 or 51 5-star reviews currently, and only one 4-star review. So people love that course. That's the best one to start with. If you guys are looking to get into this business, start with that course.
Definitely. And so what's going on in Miami? You got something going on in Miami?
So yeah, Charles Oglesby, what up, Chuck, and a few other people, and Elisa, we're doing a mastermind. We're teaching people how to build an online academy in a weekend. So we're going to go from idea to implementation to copywriting to promo to structuring your course, weekly, bi-weekly sessions, archive, live sessions, how to build an audience, how to get on podcasts, how to take your idea, put it into a digital product, and make money. So that's going to be April 1st through the 4th in Miami.
Damn, make sure y'all tap into that.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Think or whatever, I'll pin it over. I've been telling some of my friends, like, I'm trying to do something in Miami, do a mastermind too.
Hey.
Alyssa, if you're listening, I know I told you I'm trying to do this. Yeah, man, I know that's going to be successful. Whatever the ticket is, whatever the cost is, I already know it's going to be well worth it, whether it's 5, 10, 20, 30 grand. They're going to literally help you make at least 6 figures, if not multiple 6 or 7. So whatever the price is, like, I already know it's going to be well worth it.
Appreciate it, later. Appreciate it.
Amazing stuff. Y'all doing big business. Another question, you touched on it a little bit, but I really wanted to know, what was the transition from, like, all right, I'm a mobile notary, to, like, actually building an online account, actually teaching it, and really building, like, an actual formidable online brand?
Yeah, I'm known as the notary guy, so yeah, I will take that compliment. It's funny, right? So some people don't know my name, but they say, "Are you the notary guy?" And I take it as a compliment. So something I'm doing is working. So well, let's start with that. The key to building an online brand, an online academy, being known for something, is to do what you do.
Say that again, please.
If you want to make money online, if you want to sell your information, sell your time, sell your IP, sell a in-person online workshop, do what you do. That's where you start. So I was in a car accident. I knew I had the knowledge. I just didn't know about structuring PDFs. I hooked up with some people. They helped me get straight, and they helped me structure my knowledge. But that's where you start, man. How well do you do what you do? And here's the other thing. Sometimes you can get lost in translation. So I used to teach more stuff. Now I teach less. That's another thing that people do. Sometimes more stuff isn't always the best. Sometimes you can get that whole 7 stream from 1 or 2 things.
Right.
And you have like a tree with branches, and you just have more branches from the tree. So yeah, I went all in on what I was doing, which was teaching people how to build and how to become mobile notary publics. Now I do have other streams, but I made that my main thing. And once I saw that was the thing that I'm best at, or the thing that people are paying me for, I just kept on doing it. And I kept on doing it. And then my students started to teach with us. Then, like my man Tiger teaches with us, and Tiger has his own platform. And I just kept on going in on what's working. Now, here's another thing that people need to know. The thing that might pay you the best might not be your favorite service to offer. The thing you're best at might not be your favorite thing, but you are a freaking adult. Adults have to do adult things. So know the difference and know when to do what. But yeah, that is how I started, and I just kept on going with one message. So when people think of this, they think of me. How can I have a good side? I don't like to use the word side hustle too much. How can I have a good side income? Mobile notary, hit up Dre. How can I start a business for under $500? Mobile notary, hit up Dre. So when you do what you do, it's easier to scale because you're on top of people's mind. You used to do a bunch of stuff too. You do less stuff too.
Way less.
Way less. And you make way more.
Way less.
I know you don't have to answer that question. I know what you make more about. So
funny, right?
Yeah. So that's the key. So do what you do, and it's gonna feel boring at times. You're gonna feel like starting something new. Maybe you might want to invest in a business, not own a new business. But starting a whole new, Cindy, maybe starting a whole new brand, fam, be careful because it's easy to get lost in translation when you have a lot of stuff. Go all
in. Definitely. I love that. And I think you have to get to a certain level or your business, revenue, whatever, before you start doing a whole bunch of other stuff. You know, people I made my first 10,000 or 20,000. Now I want to do something else. Even if you got to 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, you want to pivot early. Like, I definitely think you should focus and hold on one thing. Once you get to a certain level, once you got systems, once you have a team around it, then you can venture off and do different stuff. I truly believe that.
I was I was on Clubhouse, right, with Tony. Tony is the closer. He called me onto the stage. Shout out to Tony. Yeah, he showed me a lot of love, actually.
Yeah, I was just that's who I was in Miami with a couple weeks ago.
I thought you
But
were
go ahead.
with? Oh, shout out to
Yeah.
Tony. And he was showing me love, and I showed him love. I was like, you know, Tony, I saw your ads, fam. Every 5 minutes, it felt like, for years. And Tony, if you look at Tony, he went all in on what? Wholesaling.
Definitely.
Wholesaling, more wholesaling. What else are you going to do? Oh, yeah, wholesaling book.
Right.
And now he's doing a digital product, how to build an online academy, build an online presence workshop. But he didn't do it then. He did it now. He went all in on what he was doing, and now he's doing that. Right? So knowing when to launch what, and it gets tough. It can be like a mental fight. But for me, Ryan, that helped me become a very well-paid, very fulfilled guy in the mobile notary online academy space.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Tony the Closer, man. He reached out to me on IG like a couple weeks ago. He invited me to Miami and was down there kicking with him for a couple days. All from him seeing one of my ads, actually, which is crazy. Yeah,
doing what you do.
I'll tell you. We can talk. I'll tell you more about that or offline, which was a great experience.
Okay, cool.
But him, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree with that 100%. And another thing I want to say, you are a proponent of everything that I tell my clients or anybody I work with is building your damn list.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. And talking to your list, like monetizing your list, giving value and everything like that. A lot of entrepreneurs miss that. And I tell every single person I work with, build your damn list. Like, if you're not happy where you're at in business, if your revenue's not where you want it to be, focus on building your list, your customer list, your email list, your text list. Like, just having that database, having that data, you are a person that, you know, I know you focus on that so much. And I'm pretty sure that's been the, you know, huge part of your success is just having a damn list and building your list and use that to your advantage. If Instagram gets shut down or your ads get shut down or whatever, having your list that you can just send the communication out and people buy, I'm pretty sure you can probably speak to that.
Yeah. So 2017-ish, I started to learn more about email marketing, software, and I was trying to build stuff myself, and I was like, my head hurt. So I hooked up with my girl, Maria. Shout out to Maria Lloyd, great friend of mine. And she was doing it already, but I didn't really know what it was. And I put something on Facebook, and she said, Jay, let's set up a call. I can be honest. I was like, great. I had a new credit card. We were on the call like, Maria, just, you can do it? Okay, cool. Just take the card, please, now. My head was hurting. So she had a system. I don't know what software I was using, but Get Response, maybe. It might have been Get Response. But she said, hey, Dre, I use Entreport. It's really good. I was like, all right, let's go with it. She's like, it costs, I think at the time it was $300 a month. I was like, damn, $300 a month. And on top of your fee. So, one, I have to get comfortable with paying an expert. I had to get comfortable with paying an expert. I knew I needed this stuff. I knew I didn't want to do it. She's the expert. I trust her. I have to rock out with that. So, yes. So, she's been with me ever since. Having an email list is, if you're in this space and you don't have one, you're freaking crazy. All right. You might need brain help, like help upstairs. It takes time. It costs money to do it, but you're literally able to be in touch with people who have the possibility to pay you. So here's the deal. I'm all about doing what you do, right? Going all in. If you go all in with one thing and people are happy with their purchase, I probably have a 40% of rate of people who buy from me more than once.
That's great.
When you serve people well, you do some free game. I got the free show. I do some free Q&As. I have the pay stuff. I mix it up. I don't want to sell everything all the damn time. I want to mix it up a little bit. Some higher price stuff, some lower price stuff. But when you do it, you're able to build a rapport with people. And some people sign up on your list and they buy from you 6 months later, a year later. But at least they're there. So
right.
So whatever you tell whatever Ryan's telling you, just do what Ryan says. Just do what Ryan says to do. It is imperative for you to be able to stay in touch, text message and email your people because they need you and you need them.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I love that you endorse that, you know, because like I said, everybody I work with, or if I just have a conversation and we're talking about online marketing or whatever, like I'm always like, that's the central of everything. As much as I love ads and everything like that, and listen, I spend money on ads. I have no problem spending money on ads, but at the same time, like most ads are just driving people to get on my list. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So extremely important. If y'all getting value out of this conversation, do me a favor, drop something down, drop an emoji. I ain't got too many more questions. I know you are very busy,
No,
but if any
good, man. Time for you, brother.
questions, anything, you definitely feel free to drop them down. We got the expert on here with us tonight. Any questions about, you know, online branding or mobile notary stuff or side incomes or whatever, feel free to drop it down now. But tips would you have for someone like, hey, I'm starting my online brand, or, you know, I'm doing okay, but I want to build my online brand more. I want to get it to, you know, 10, 20, 30, 50,000 a month. Like what other suggestions would you have?
For the people who have currently bought from you, let's say that you already have some sales, but for people who currently bought from you, ask them to give you their honest feedback.
I love that.
Clients are your best consultants.
Definitely.
Clients are your best consultants. So ask them for honest feedback, and if you can't handle it and you feel the need to talk back, have your assistant do it. But yes, get feedback from your clients. And ask people who have currently paid you, what else can I help you with? It might be a $47 or $97 or $147 a month weekly mentorship call.
Right.
You get 10 people in there, 20 people in there. Okay, now we're talking about some things, right? So
Right.
what are people, ask people who are currently paying you, what else do they need? Are you happy with this? What could be better? I did a course, a 5-week challenge. It ended Friday. Did well. It was a lot of fun. I asked people what was their experience. I asked them to type in the chat from 1 to 10. Most people gave a 10. Some people gave a 9.5. Some people gave a 9. And I asked them, okay, cool. Thanks for the feedback. I was wondering what the 9s were, and I asked them if some things could have been better. I'm on a mission to make it a 9.9. It's hard to get a test for everything, but I asked for the feedback. I asked them, how are they enjoying it throughout? Are you enjoying it? And I have a very flexible refund policy. So for me, if you don't like it within 60 days, here goes your money back. So yeah,
Right.
man, get that feedback. And another thing is, if you're thinking of if you know you want to sell something online, excuse me, you're not sure what you want to sell, what are people currently asking you for free? That might be your thing. If you're great at resumes, if your aunt and your cousin and your girlfriend that work actually update the resumes, that's your business. Here's the next phase. You don't have to be perfect at something, but can you help 10 people get to a higher level of what you want to sell? You might say, well, I only own 3 to 5 properties. She owns 100. I don't know if I can sell the course. No, your course is how to acquire your first 3 to 5 properties.
Right.
That's it. You're not lying. Some people like to learn from people who actually aren't too advanced. Right. Your course is how to acquire 3 to 5 properties in the next 3 years. That's right. Your course. So don't feel the need to embellish. Don't feel the need to oversell. What do you do? If you've been married for 10 years, here's your course. How to have a 10-year marriage.
It ain't rocket science. It don't got to be rocket science.
Man, I know some people who are great at relationships. And I'm like, yo, you could help people, fam. Like, and they take it for granted because they're so good at it. I'm like, people ain't that good. All right. A lot of people ain't. Y'all got some sauce here. Y'all can create something and help people and make an honest dollar. But yeah, man, do what you do. Don't let the internet rush you into different things. You probably have something you can sell. You just got to tap into it and pay someone who can help you figure it out.
Mm.
Pay someone and say, hey, man, I got this idea. I see you got an online course. Can I either join your program or have a one-on-one with you? Pay the expert and help you flush out your idea.
Mm. I love that. I know Shanice asked to go to that. Shout out to Sharia in here. Sharia, do me a favor, please call me or text me. I'm ready to pull the trigger on some stuff. So if you could please call me or text me so we can jump on the call, like for real.
We had a question in
said,
here, right?
yeah, I'll let you answer first. When you first, question for both of us. When you first started your business, how often did you attend in-person networking events?
Good question. That's a great question. I attended a lot of in-person networking events, not just for my business, to be around other entrepreneurs. So there are different phases in your life, right? There are certain phases where if I go in a room now, humbly, I can't walk too far without someone asking me a question about my business, right? But there were many years where I was there trying to just talk to somebody who had a business who could inspire me because I needed to make some money and I left the job and I've had a rough month. So what can I get from you? Be okay with whatever season you're in. So even if you are there, even if the goal is to get more business once you're there, right? But another goal is to be around people who are doing it. Learn how their brain works. Learn what they don't do. Learn what they do. And I just needed the energy, Ryan. I just needed some black entrepreneurial, hungry ass energy. So yeah, I was always out there. We were there together.
We were. That's how we met at an event. For real.
we did events. You came to my book launch. So yes, get around hungry ass people, please. All right, Ryan, all you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how at Boyce Watkins' event, the first all-black convention in Atlanta, that's how we met.
That's where we met the first time. Yeah, in person.
Tons of stuff. We done business together. We hung out, like personally, everything, just from meeting at an event. So for me, when I got started, it was as often as I could. You know what I'm saying? To be real, like I couldn't attend all the events that I wanted to because I couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of events that I go to, like when I go to the ClickFunnels event now, like that's $1,000 for a ticket plus traveling, hotel, and stuff like that. So even like initially, like I was like, oh, I want to go to this event and digital marketing event, but I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. I first started $1,000 for a ticket. The hotel where the event be at, they'd be like $250 a night. You know what I'm saying? Plus flight like that, and you got to have money when you're there. So a lot of events in the beginning, I just couldn't go because it just wasn't feasible. So to answer the question, like definitely as often as I could. But I agree with Dre said 100%. You got to get in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know who you're going to run into, who you're going to meet. Could be a client, could be a joint venture, all the nuggets you're going to get, you know. So, and I still go to tons and tons of events all the time. So I would say, like, I would go as often as I could. And it's way more important to go in person. I know it's COVID. People are scared and stuff like that. When I first got started, of course, it wasn't COVID. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't an issue. I understand why people may not want to go in person and stuff like that. But if you can go in person, like I strongly recommend it because the connections and the relationships, you're not going to get on Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to get just stuff like that. So I would say go as often as you can and make sure you go to the right events too. Because there are a lot of events out here that you may just see something and it may not be that much value. Like you can literally now, I can look at an event and I can look at who's speaking and I can immediately know if I want to go or not. You know what I'm saying? That's also for people that do events. Make sure you have good people on your speaker roster because the seasoned people know I can look at an event coming up, I'm seeing who's speaking, and I can literally make my decision if I want to go or not. You know, so that's another thing that I would say. But try to be at as many events as you can as possible because you never know who you're going to meet and what nuggets you're going to pick up.
And I'll add this part. At the events, let's say that there are speakers there. Meet the speakers, but meet the people in the audience. I've met people who were at events that either events I was hosting or events I was speaking at, and people coming up and talking to us. And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, man, you got more money than I do. So don't just meet the speakers, meet the people in the audience as well.
Absolutely. All right, let me go back. Hold on. All right, so we answered Shanisha's first question. She said I'm great at resumes.
There we go.
Sharia said, how do we get started? I guess, do you mean with like online brands? Because I know Sharia is an amazing like real estate agent here in Philly. But I know we talked like a while ago before about like transitioning, doing more stuff online. So I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, I assume your question is like, I guess, how do you, get started and like really build the brand online? Which I know you covered a little bit already, Dre.
Yeah, so if she's a realtor, let's say she sold, it's gonna, I'm sorry for correcting, but if you sold 7 houses last year, your online course could be how to sell 7 houses in a year as a realtor. Because most sell none, so 7 is a win. How do you get started? Started with a free webinar. Free webinar. You give 3 to 5, 10. So here's the thing about free webinars, right? A lot of people do them. You have to give some tangible nuggets that people would pay for.
Right.
It has to be good. Like, damn, that was really good. And then you tell people in the front at the beginning, say, hey, thanks for joining the free webinar. I'm going to give you 3 to 5 tangible things that can help you make money as a mobile notary public. At the end, if you guys want to enroll with us, I'll have an offer for you. So stay to the end. So that way there's no surprises. They know up front at the end, I'm going to make a pitch, and they can rock with me if they want. But you're going to get some game here that you can implement that will help you for free. So free webinars, how you start, then you can roll that into the course.
I agree with that. And I love, webinar. I've done tons of webinars, of course. We build tons of webinar funnels. And that also helps you grow your list more and just get value in there. You can definitely make
become a better public speaker too.
All right, so that, yeah, absolutely. Alyssa says, I used to do local meetups. Alyssa, remember when I ran into you at that event at Pipeline, Philly?
Philly.
I think it was, I don't know what type of an event it was. I think it was like, it might have been like a Fiverr event or like something like that. And I remember, well, I know it wasn't the first time we met, but I remember we like literally ran into each other in like a local event in Philly. But even like meetup.com and stuff like that, like you can register people there.
People.
Definitely. For those starting out, the Chamber of Commerce events are great and most are expensive. I agree with that. One of my partners that I used to work with, David, who I used to do events with in Philly, we done tons of live events.
I remember that,
at a Chamber of Commerce event. And then we literally just started working together and made tons of money together. I guess Sharia asks, how do you determine which are the right ones? I guess events.
Trial and error. It's just one of the things that you're gonna have to do trial and error for. You'll find your groove after you've gone out there, but there's no perfect way to get started. You just got to get out there, go, and you'll find your groove. And and the people at the events will tell you what events are good. Yeah. So go, and they'll figure it out.
I will also add, depending on like what you're looking for, you know what I mean? Because there are tons of events on so much different stuff. Like me, I go to like marketing events. You know what I'm saying? I also go to events where I'm not the smartest one in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if I'm like more interested in real estate, I may go to a real estate event. But it really depends on like what you're looking for and stuff.
Yep.
The 4-day boot camp, so you learn all about the different services that notaries need, like the list mentioned, closing documents, etc.
Yep. The 4-day boot camp, marketing, advertising, a little bit of document review. We have a sign and stamp with confidence course, which is just have notarized documents. But the 4-day boot camp, how to get your phone to ring, how to close clients, how to accept payment, how to market, how to advertise, all the best free ways to advertise, the best paid ways to advertise, call scripts. That's the 4-day boot camp, a little bit of document review. So the 4-day boot camp is where to start, and the sign and stamp with confidence is the next course. So if you can afford to, get the 4-day self-employed boot camp and get the sign and stamp with confidence as well.
Make sure you get it.
It works. It works, man. I tell you, every day, Ryan. Every day, someone tell me how much money they made, brother. Every single day.
Our listeners, I guess I had an office at Pipeline. Yeah, I remember you had your office at Pipeline. Shanice said event, right, too. That's true. Yeah, you can definitely find stuff Be sure to search what you're waiting to attend. Platforms like Meetup are cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So yeah, the last words. Like I said, I really, really appreciate
Thank
this live.
you, Sam.
I'm gonna definitely say this live, so you can watch it again, or if you missed the beginning part, definitely, absolutely. So yeah, Dre, man, I really, really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on.
It's a
So if there's any
pleasure.
last tips for the people, feel free to drop them.
Yeah, do whatever Ryan says to do. He's the man. So let's just start with that. I appreciate you having me, brother. You know, always good to connect with my boy. Be consistent. Go all in. Do free webinars. Yeah, that's it. Be consistent. Go all in. Do free webinars. And oftentimes, especially in the beginning, less streams of income can actually make you more money. So start. And I'll start and adjust. It's okay. Like, adjust if need be, but just start. Don't live in your head. Don't live in your head. Like, live, learn, mess up, and you'll be surprised and amazed on what you can achieve. Appreciate it, Ryan. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thanks, bro.
All right, buddy. Peace.
All right. Peace, everyone.